Major funding for these broadcasts has been provided by grants from New York Community Bank, Capital One Bank, Eastern Consolidated, M&T Bank, Sterling National Bank, Meridian Capital Group, Customers Bank, Aerial Property Advisors, Dime Community Bank, Perfect Building Maintenance. Additional funding has been provided by AKA Hotels Corman Communities, AmTrust Title Insurance Company, AVR Realty Company, Avison Young, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Bank Leumi USA, Briarwood Organization, CBRE, Chase Commercial Term Lending, Chase Mortgage Lending, JP Morgan Chase, Citizens Bank, Cohen Equities, Colliers International NYC, Collins Building Services, Connect One Bank, CPEX Real Estate Services, Douglaston Development, Levine Builders, Flushing Bank, Friedman LLP, Handler Real Estate Organization, Handro Properties, Hodges Ward Elliott, Inc., Investors Bank, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Center at Syracuse University, Kilroy Architectural Windows, Madison Realty Capital, Matone Group, Mercantile Bank, New Banks, Newmark Knight Frank, Optimum Window Manufacturing Corp., People's United Bank, Pulcinelli, Rockefeller Group, Rosewood Realty Services, SJP Properties, Stonehenge Partners, TD Bank, Terra CRG, the Knackle Group at Cushman and Wakefield, the Meringoff Family Foundation, the Moynihan Group, and these friends.
Bronx, New York, West End Avenue, Bronx Science, Skidmore, Law School, Cooper's and Library, Schulte, Roth and Zabel, Goldman Sachs. Nah, I'm going to start a company called Roseland. I'm going to start building development. I'm going to have two partners. We're going to develop all over. We're going to be in New Jersey. We're going to do Port Imperial. We're going to be in New York. We're going to sell our company. Now I'm going to stay involved. A company called Canoe Brook. We're going to do other things. And you know what? I'm really going to help the community, especially in Jewish day schools. Happy to have Brad Klatt here today. Thank you for being here.
That's my whole story.
I know. I did
We're
it
done.
quickly. Okay. So tell me about your grandparents and then a little bit about your growing up.
Sure. We grew up, my parents were married. We grew up and we lived on the West Side. My parents were divorced when I was 2, my sister was 1, and we went to live with my grandmother, my father's mother, and she brought us up on the West Side for our whole childhood.
Now, but when you were brought up on West End Avenue, this was a different time. It wasn't the West End Avenue of today, right?
No, it wasn't. You needed an armed guard, but you definitely needed somebody who was in their teens to take you across Amsterdam Avenue to go to PS 87 and PS 44 where I went. It's a very different environment than it is today.
So when you were there, did you think anything about any idea that you were going to become a lawyer and real estate? I mean, there was nothing in the family involved with real estate or that type of involvement.
We were playing stickball. I was hoping to hit the ball out. We were between West End Avenue, Riverside Drive, and all those alleyways. And we were just trying to hit the ball out onto 79th Street. That was the aspiration.
Now, wait a second. Didn't you also have the stoops?
We were not that kind. The stoops weren't safe because it was a big avenue. So you really couldn't run across it like you can a regular street. It was 79th Street. So we played stickball in the passageways behind the alleys and hoped that we could get the ball out through the narrow passageway onto 79th Street.
You said to me your grandmother helped support you and your sister, and you went to public school. And then how did you decide that you wanted to go to Bronx Science? I mean, the Bronx Science was, wasn't a bad ride, but it was geographically not convenient.
It really wasn't a choice for kids who were my age. If you were interested or sent to school every day and you showed up every day and you worked whatever reasonably hard meant then, you were in these classes called SP classes. So they let
Oh, so you didn't tell me you were an SP. You were in the 2-year or the 3-year
You know what?
SP?
I was in the 2-year. But so you went to the SPs, and by the time you came out of 8th and 9th grade, you went to take the exam, and you were either going to go to Brandeis, the neighborhood school, or you're going to go to Science or Stuyvesant.
Right.
Okay, so you took the test, not thinking of Bronx Science or Stuyvesant. I had never seen either of
Okay,
those schools.
but a lot of the people up at Science, were planning to be pre-med. That was their desire.
Yeah,
They were told they were going to be pre-med.
Right. Well, that's because you're talking to people who are 35 years old, looking back on their wonderful years at Bronx Science and saying, what was my goal? But when we were all there, we were just lucky that the kids from other schools, Clinton, wouldn't beat us up on the way to the subway.
Let's talk about the days at Science. You had an accident when you were up at Science, you were saying?
My senior year in high school, I had a head injury and only spent about half the year in high school.
So what happened? You spoke to your guidance counselor about where you should go to college at this time?
Right. So I still wasn't able to really focus or read, and I applied to really good schools, and they all said, wait, listen, we're not ready for you, you're not ready for us, but if you are, you're more than welcome. And so in June, the guidance counselor took me on a drive up the Taconic, and we stopped at Vassar, and then we went to Skidmore, two good schools that were accepting men in June or July post the season. I liked Skidmore, and I went there.
Now, you went to Skidmore with a literature background.
Yes.
And you said to me when we got together, you were like a reporter or such for the New York Times.
Right. They needed a stringer up in Saratoga, so I just applied for it and got it. Didn't mean anything. You just would write something, you'd send it in, they'd send you $10, $14, $15. And then over the next 3 years, they gave us, my friends and I, the New York upstate route to deliver the New York Times on campuses, and we delivered to 15 campuses and made a lot of money, which helped get us through school.
So you did that, and then you said to me you were able to enjoy the ballet. Now,
I don't know if I really enjoyed the ballet as opposed to enjoying the ballerinas, because we spent the summer there and did some writing for that and the racetrack, but yes.
What about the racetrack? I mean, that's what the area is known for,
I was more interested in James Taylor and Carole King showing up at the Performing Arts Center.
Now, but you finished school in 3 years.
Yes.
How come you were so enthusiastic to accomplish it?
Well, I wasn't really enthusiastic. I was about to transfer out after my first year, and I was accepted to transfer to a school that I had applied to originally, and I'd done very well.
Which school was that?
That was Brown. And the college said to me, if you want to stay, you can graduate in 3 years, and you're doing really well. And me as a literature person, and Philip Roth was coming to be a guest lecturer for the next whole year. And between those two things, 3 years, Philip Roth, I stayed and loved it.
How does the literature major, who also has this subscription business with the New York Times to make some money, decide that he wants to go to law school?
Well, I liked math a lot. And in my second and third year, I took a lot of science courses in math, and I enjoyed it. And I liked the analytics of it. And I was 19 years old, I was going to graduate. I wasn't going to go get a job, no offense, I was 19, what was I going to go do? So law school seemed just a natural. So I went to law school.
How did you decide on Albany?
Again, I was 19. I really didn't have a family. My grandmother brought me up, and she was in New York City and much older. And all my friends were in Saratoga and Albany. And so that was really where I wanted to go.
What did you do during the first year? I remember the clerkship was the second year.
Right. The first summer, I worked for a legal aid sponsored piece in the appellate division second department. And so we used to write appeals.
Up there also?
No, down.
So you came back to New York City?
Came back to New York City. Those were the places to have the jobs.
So that was, okay, and then your second year?
My second year, I did an internship at Coopers & Lybrand in their mergers department. Again, it was sort of a fascinating opportunity. It wasn't law, but it was working on mergers with Alan Vituli and Warren Wintrob. And that turned into a job offer to be part of that department for the first couple of years after I was in school.
Now, most people at that time remember Coopers and Lybrand being basically one of the big eight.
They were.
Okay, then today it's Big Four, and they're no longer even Coopers and Lybrand. They're PricewaterhouseCoopers or PwC. You didn't go in the accounting side, and you really didn't go in the law side. You went more in the mergers and acquisition side. So what were you doing there for a couple of years?
At that point, the difference between book accounting and tax accounting, as well goodwill issues, there were very hot issues in the merger world, more than where do I go get the money. And this group, small crew, led by Warren Winthrop and Al Vituli, really had a pristine position in the merger world. And we got to work on a lot of big acquisitions, and I learned a lot about accounting and taxes, but I also learned a lot about business, why they were together, because a lot of the things we had to go and put our signature on effectively were related to why were these businesses part of one? Were they really part of one? Were they two separates? And through that process, it was an incredible education.
Now, was this the time of the junk bonds?
No, this is
Pre-junk bonds.
This is the late 70s.
Late 70s. Junk bonds come later on.
Later on.
So now you're at Coopers, and how do you end up at the legendary Schulte, Roth, and Zabel?
Well, I was the 18th or 19th lawyer at Schulte, and I was on a deal, and Dan Shapiro, who was the head of the tax department there, met me, and we just really hit it off, and he was really the first person who ever said to me, well, what are you going to do with your career? What are you thinking? As we were sitting working on something. I was over in his office working on one of the deals, and came to like him a lot, and I had never really written legal memos or anything like that. I didn't have that.
You were at Coopers. You were more in the transaction,
right?
Okay?
And it was short prose and then long financial models. And here, I didn't really have that, and so it didn't even occur to me to go to be a lawyer. And he said, "You should really be a lawyer." And I said to him, "Well, that would be wonderful, but I don't have that associate experience." And he said, "You should come here, and we have a lot of really interesting."
So what year
businesses.
is this?
This is 1979.
So it's 1979. How do you meet certain people from this little investment banking firm called Goldman Sachs?
Well, first of all, the firm had a pristine practice. It was very special. And so while most people do think about Paul Ross leading this huge hedge fund business into what it could become, which he did, they also had a tremendous joint venture department and represented a lot of real estate people, as well as syndicators, East still amongst them. And I was on a deal that broke, and they break for lots of reasons. And I ended up going to have a conversation with the money partners. I was asked to have a conversation with the money partners to explain why the deal that was being put together by somebody who was a client of Schulte wasn't going to work for them. And Dan Shapiro was out of town. I was there already 3-4 years. They sent me to a meeting, not downtown at Goldman Sachs, and I met these people. And
You met the East Hill people.
Well, I met the people who were in the middle, yeah, who were my clients. And then I sat down with the money partners with them and explained that the pieces just never really fell together, that if things were really good, they might get their money back as a multi-phase transaction. And if things were really bad, only they would lose their money. And that didn't make sense. And so we went back, and the other side wasn't really willing to shift. They had a different opportunity for capital, thinking about it differently. The deal broke. But about a week later, I got a call, could I go have lunch with Bob Rubin?
The legendary Bob.
But I didn't know who Bob Rubin was at that time. And I said, no, I would really rather stay here to be a partner, and I don't really know what that really means for me because I love it here. He said, no, you should really come. And so finally, I went. And when I came back to the office...
Now, when you went down there, what was the job? I mean...
The job was...
You created the principal transaction, so it really was a new creation at that time.
Yes. The job was a fascinating job. Goldman at that point focused on long-term investing being over the weekend, and the primary use of capital away from the Treasury desk was in arbitrage, and there were positions that were held, but they were primarily liquid or quasi-illiquid positions. Bob Rubin believed that the firm had an important part of its future in principal investing for a couple of reasons. One, that they had incredible skills of knowing who was who and what was what and what could be, what was value and what was not value in all different types of business disciplines, and were relied upon, obviously, for that expertise in so many ways. And they had people who could be their partners, who were leaders of these businesses, and that would be a wonderful use of the firm's capital. But the first and actually more interesting piece of his interest was because KKR and others were building their companies, starting to build their companies, and for want of $20 or $30 million of capital, which was a lot of money, it still is, they could control $1 billion company, or as they would see it, the refinancing of $1 billion on the right-hand side of the balance sheet. And so for both of those reasons, it was an important piece of the firm's future in his view, and he wanted somebody to come in and start it who didn't have an ego, didn't have a Goldman position, and could start in a little cube outside his office.
What did Robin say about this opportunity?
You're changing jobs again. She really was. I can't believe you're changing jobs again. And my father-in-law, who had become my sort of, in every way, my leader. I hadn't had a father figure in my life until my father-in-law. He just thought that lawyers pushed paper from one side of the table to the other, and that whatever an investment banker was, they just pushed bigger piles of paper from one side to the other, which he always felt were going to fall over and
now,
break.
what about Grandma? Was Grandma?
My grandmother really, she was fabulous. She brought me up, but she really didn't know where I was going to school and what I was doing.
So you're at this time.
She was just a wonderful mother to me.
So how old are you at this time that you go to Goldman?
So I went to Goldman in 1981, which made me 26.
So you're 26 years of age. You know, you've heard these names, Goldman Sachs. You know, at that time, Bear Stearns. You've heard, you know,
I knew who they
Brothers.
were.
You know, all
They,
these. Okay, but you're there. So what do you do over there for a couple of years? More than a couple of years.
Yeah, more than a couple of years. Well, the first thing I was able to do was to be assigned a board, which was sort of way out of place because that was their way of creating a formality of the structure that they would build an investment around. The focus was to spend time in each of the departments with each of my board members, Lee Cooperman, David Tepper later, Claude Ballard, who then played a great role in my career for the next 20 years before he passed away, and others, and trying to effectively spawn an interest in being a principal investor in the departments that covered assets that were out of favor. And then in combination with many people, fabulous executives and owners who had sold their businesses, Goldman had sold them, Goldman was then managing their money. 4, 5, 6 years later, they were viewed as having sold out at the top. The assets were down at the bottom, some of them over-levered, maybe bought out of bankruptcy, could be bought with those same people, not necessarily identical assets, but same industry. Cable was trading at 3 times cash flow. Would it get to 5? Would pay-per-view be important? Would it get to 7? Would pay-per-view and other regularities, annuitizations of those cash flow, create higher percentages of the capitalization being in debt at reasonable prices and less equity? All those were the questions that were on our desktops, and we ultimately put it together into a department that came to play an important role with Goldman's capital, and then outside capital, the Whitehall funds, the Water Street funds, and many others that were ultimately spawned out of the comfort level that came from being a principal with Goldman's own capital.
So what happens at the age of 35?
Okay, so at the age of 35, I would say my closest friend, Marshall Teicher, who was then president of Lincoln Property Company, Texas and Northeast, and also in charge of their going and getting third-party money, non-institutional, which included Goldman, and we sat around 1986 and 7. We became very close friends. Goldman and Lincoln did a lot of business. We were the two people on the point of that. We realized that we had these incredible catbird seats. We were, at Goldman, I was able to go up to the catbird seat, look out, and see what was in front. Then I'd come down and say, gosh, it looks like this is happening out there. I could get people who were in the firm who had much greater expertise to come back up and say, gosh, maybe the world isn't so round or flat. Maybe this is an opportunity. And then we'd go after those opportunities and go do them. And so sitting in that chair was a really special experience, and it was a real privilege. But sitting in that chair in 1987 and 1988, it was clear that to us, to me, and all the people I worked with, Claude Ballard, and especially Marshall, who was very close to me, that the right-hand side of the balance sheet of real estate in North America was in absolute denial of what the left-hand side was not worth and could not generate in cash flow to service effectively that debt and that equity that had been invested. And so the question that came about at Goldman and at Lincoln and in our heads was, how do you take advantage of that? Okay, we didn't know from the RTC or the Office of Thrift Supervision or any of those things that were going to happen later, where was it going to collapse first? And Marshall said, Texas. Because the things that we're looking at that are potential in the Northeast and the Midwest, they're already happening in Texas. There's a collapse. And maybe some people blamed it on all that capital being piled up from the change in tax law or whatever the case may be.
So the two young Turks go into business.
We both gave notice. It took us about 9 months to get out in a beautiful way where many of the Goldman partners
became investors.
They became our first investors, and they said, stay here for another few months. We really love what you're starting to work on. You can start it here. It's fine. And with Claude Ballard and Gene Mercy, we raised a lot of money, and we started off in Texas.
So how do you find your third partner, the third wheel?
Oh, Carl Goldberg. He's our partner, He was working for one of the wonderful refugee families in New Jersey. I know you've done his life story. And he was building homes. He was a trained chemist and environmental engineer. His night job was working on all of the regulatory framework for 3 or 4 governors as chairman of the New Jersey Home Builders Regulatory Committee. And so he knew about environmental, he knew about brownfields, he knew about all kinds of stuff. And so when Marshall and I were finished buying in Texas, and Marshall had moved up here and had a much greater comfort in the Northeast, and the Northeast started to fall apart, its banking system started to fall apart, we started to look at portfolios here of land that was impaired. There were always...
Most of New Jersey.
New Jersey, New York, right. Connecticut, Boston. Right. Yes, but there was Goldman Sachs and Lehman and others who were there who were buying what we called the regular paying loans, the ones that had a little trickle of cash flow and some collateral above the ground. And then we went in looking at buying the land underneath it. And they all had environmental problems, missing courses in meets and bounds, things that Marshall and I had not experienced. And so we met Carl.
So you got the chemist, the John Hopkins.
We got the John Hopkins chemist. And we went in to do our first diligence on a NatWest portfolio of about 100 assets. We had 5 days to diligence and 10 days to close. That was the deal, because that was what was left at the end of the quarter in their non-performing assets.
Right.
And either Goldman or Farallon, who were Goldman people, Tom Steyer, put up the money, and we bought our first portfolio together. Carl did the environmental and below the ground. Marshall did what it could be when it grew up, what we could build. I did the bankruptcy and how to finance it. And together we did the strategy.
I mean, you did a number of properties during the period of time, but I think one of the largest was Port Imperial.
Yes.
From environmentally deprived to what is Port Imperial today?
Today, Port Imperial is about 9 million feet, mostly of housing, of condominiums and apartment buildings that generates, instead of a $5 million deficit to the town of West New York, a $40 million surplus to Weehawken in West New York, and has roughly 15,000 people living there. And also the largest intermodal ferry terminal in the United States.
So what happens later on is you and the three of you sell Roseland to Matt Calley, create Canoe Brook, okay, and also in the electrical business today.
We're an energy business.
Business. Let's talk a little bit about family. Tell me about your family. How'd you meet Robin?
I met Robin at Skidmore, so that was easy. We fell in love, we got married, and in everything I did, she supported me. And she was the most incredible support system anybody could ever have. She put up with me in all the ways you can. We had 4 beautiful children. They're all grown adults. 3 of them are married. The 4th one's about to be married. We have 7 grandchildren. We live in Livingston, New Jersey, and New York part-time. And when I left Goldman, we opened up offices, Marshall and I, in Roseland, New Jersey, the next town. And she said to me, you didn't go to day school, but I did, and we love day school. Our kids are there. I want your commuting time. that time you spent traveling all over, I want it back, and I want you to invest it in our school because it needs it. And that's what I did, and I caught the bug. But after 5 or 10 years of working in day school environment and what you can in a particular school, we grew the school from 200 kids to 800 kids, built a high school, did so much more with the community helping in a great way. You have to get up and out to make room for the next set. And so I went up and out, and Robin and I became PEAGE Partners, the Partnership for Excellence in Jewish Education, with Michael Steinhardt and the Bronfmans and others. And I played an important role there, as did Robin, for 15 years. And now I'm on the board of Prisma, which is the National Jewish Day School organization that's put together.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
People aren't aware of that. What is the mission?
The mission of Prisma is to enhance the capacities of Jewish day schools so that there's academic excellence and rigor at every level, including for the teachers in training and leadership, as well as affordability. So we help build endowments and sustainability, and we almost look like a McKinsey for Jewish day schools in terms of our skill sets, offering them out and managing the quality of education and quality of leadership, incremental growth in 400 day schools in North America.
So what do you want to do when you grow up?
I'm fine. I'm really fine. I love what I do in Prisma. A great family. Marshall, Carl, and I have a wonderful small business. Went from 400 people to 12 people.
Right, and you always like these areas. So the company you created Roseland because you went to Roseland, New Jersey. You created Canoe Brook because that's where you are.
Canoe Brook Road.
Canoe Brook Road. And the electrical company is the
Energy Technology Savings really grew out of a small engineering group that was part of Roseland to strip large amounts of energy expenditure by virtue of tariffs, by way of alternative energy, and lots of other things, but in a turnkey system, which we did for Roseland. And now that team, we funded that team, and they've built a tremendous business, public and private companies, stripping energy expenditure and energy consumption out of large multifamily properties and portfolios.
So the kid who lived on West End Avenue before West End Avenue was chic, who didn't know anything about real estate and energy and day schools, okay, because, Bronx Science wasn't a day school.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, but as you said, your grandmother had in her, she always wanted, she instilled the Jewish life into you, into your sister. Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy you were here today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.